And we are live. All right, just give me 1 second here. I have to click the live on Instagram. Perfect. Okay, I'm kind of new to this thing. I'm going live on YouTube and my Instagram channel. My Instagram channel you will find right here, Beyond the Lens Productions. If you haven't subscribed to that already, please do so. I'm trying to build the following on there as well. So that would be great if you could do that for me. So, anyhow, here we are. I am testing out the new Rodecaster Duo that I got. And I gotta say, I'm liking it a lot so far. So, I am going to be using this in some of my new videos up and coming. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to let you guys know what I think about it. And yeah, do a little bit of card chat here. I have about an hour to kill here before I have to head out. So join me while I do this. Now I even have an audience applauding me. This is pretty cool. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right, let's roll the intro and we'll get right into this. All right, welcome back to Beyond the Lens Productions, guys. So please let me know if my sound effects are coming through okay. Anyhow, so I am trying out the new Rodecaster Duo, which is a soundboard. And the soundboard is to make the audio on my videos sound better. So hopefully I've been playing around with this. So hopefully it sounds pretty good. I can also add some sound effects in there. So hopefully those are coming through okay. The Rodecaster, I use the Rode mic system for all of my videos, both in the studio here and ones I've done on location as well. So, yeah, I'm did a lot of research on this because there's a Rodecaster Duo and then there's a Rodecaster Pro 2. And the Pro 2 is actually inside exactly the same as the Rodecaster Duo. And the only difference is you can have up to 4 mics added in on or plugged in on the Rodecaster Pro. On the Duo, you can just do 2 as it would sound dual. Now, since I very rarely would ever have more than one guest, most of my shows here are done solo. Most of my videos are done solo. So this one fits my needs quite well here. So yeah, so that's what I'm going with for this. It came with very good reviews, very good hardware on the inside. That is, remember, a hockey noise. I'm not sure what hockey noise we got. The applause. We got the air horn in there too. What else we got? Okay, we got the chimes. We give a bad joke. There we go. I got something to go with on that. I can actually make myself sound like I'm in a stadium. So if I'm being announcing at the hockey game here, that's what I might sound like. So anyhow, we won't stay with that too long. That would get annoying really fast. Oh, this one here. Oh yes, we got the famous Don DeMarco. I know this one's quite popular on a lot of podcasts here. And if I tend to piss off the environmentalists and not talk favorably about electric cars as some people think I should in the comments. Well, we got this one too.
How dare you?
There we go. We got Greta there too. So, anyhow, and I did add a couple other ones in here too.
Nope.
Yeah, I did.
Nope.
Okay, fine. I did, but even if you don't believe me, I did. And one more for anybody that wants to talk some nonsense in the chat.
Stop the cap.
We can do that one. So, anyhow, it gives a lot of opportunity to tweak the sound and whatnot, so you don't just get the raw sound that comes out of the microphone. You can actually tweak that a bit to sound however you want. I think the setting I've got right now is probably the best one I've found so far. So anybody who's in the chat or after watching the video can also let me know how this sounds. So I think this one sounds pretty decent right now. So anyhow, you have any questions about it? I mean, I'm still learning this a bit here too, so let me know what you think there, and have any questions about it, I can do my best to answer that for you. So there we got here. Okay, we got that one's going here. Okay, that one's good too. Just give me one sec here, guys. Okay, there we go. So, what would anybody like to talk about here tonight? I'd have a few things in mind here. I wanted to thank, first of all, I kind of wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of my loyal viewers. I've got quite a few of you now over the last 10 months to a year. I've had this channel going for a while. I mean, the channel started out as a number of different, me trying a number of different videos. And if you dig down into the older videos, you can kind of see some of those ones that I've been doing. And when I switched over into the automotive, that seemed to be the one that really stuck. And that's when I really started to pick up traction and get views on it. So I kind of stuck with the automotive. And originally, I started out with sort of the slideshow presentations where I would talk about older vehicles. I had a whole series in the Grand Prix that you guys can go watch. Many of you already have. And I just told about the history of the Grand Prix from the first year it was produced right until it was discontinued in the late 2000s there when it changed into the Pontiac G8. I even went on and interviewed a friend of mine who has a hold-in conversion for the Pontiac G8, and that video did quite well. That car has quite a following, even more so than what I actually realized, and even did a video on one of the meets my buddy had there locally. So you got to see quite a few different Pontiac G8s as well. So that one was pretty cool too. I'm hoping this coming year I'm going to do the same. I wanted to thank everybody though for watching the videos, commenting, subscribing, and following me along the journey here. I set a goal for myself around this time last year. This is when I really started to buckle down and regularly produce content because I decided I was going to become monetized. I wanted to be a YouTuber. I wanted to um, make something of this channel. So with the help of you guys and your views and subscriptions and whatnot, I was able to actually realize that goal in just a little bit less than 10 months. So I thank you for that. That really was awesome that I was able to make that in less time than what I had actually set the goal for. So now that I've reached that, I don't plan to stop. I want to keep growing the channel and you know what, I can't do that without you guys. So, I mean, anything that you would like to see me do, you could please let me know what you like, what you don't like, and whatnot. I've been doing a lot of coverage of different news stories in the automotive world. I mean, I've been a car guy my entire life. I was into cars long before I even could even drive them. I come from a car family. My father worked at General Motors for many years in many different positions, so I quite familiar with that company as well. But I mean, my interest in cars doesn't just stop there. I've been, no matter what kind of car company is, I've always been interested in that, and I've been in various car clubs. I was, like I said, I've mentioned some of my videos. I was in a Pontiac Grand Prix Club for a number of years there, and from about 2003, I believe, up until I think it kind of disbanded right around 2012, 13, somewhere in that area. Because unfortunately, once they stopped producing the Pontiac Grand Prix and Pontiac in general, the car club kind of started to die off. So I yeah, fortunately, all good things come to an end. I made a lot of great friends there. My friend Gary, who I did the Pontiac G8 video with, he was also a member of that club and had a couple of different Grand Prix along the way as well. I still actually have my Grand Prix. It was originally my father's car, who then handed it off to me, and I've kept the car ever since. I did some work on it this summer. I did a full new or not transmission, a full new suspension in it. So it has brand new shocks, struts, mounts all the way around. The car drives like it's brand new. So I've obviously kept all the maintenance up through the years, and I've put a Magnaflow exhaust system on it as well. So it has a nice little rumble to it. I mean, if anybody that's familiar with the Pontiac Grand Prix 3.8 liters, I mean, they put those in the Chevrolet Monte Carlos, the Buick LeSabres, the Park Avenues, the Grand Prix. What else did they have it in? I think that off the top of my head, that's the only ones I remember right now. But anyhow, where I'm going with that is they had a very distinctive sound, and if you put a little bit of an aftermarket exhaust on those cars, they sounded even better. So anyhow, that's where I am at with that right now. So I still mean to do a video on that car as well, but I just didn't seem to get around to it yet. But I will do that. I will do that soon. So so you guys can see that. So anyhow, I've been into this scene for quite some time, and I'm hoping, keep fingers crossed for me, I'm applying for a media pass at the Toronto Auto Show here coming up in February. So hopefully I'd be approved for that. I'm not exactly sure what their criteria is. They're not really that specific on their website and what it is. So I'm going to apply for that, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can do that and bring some really great car content to you guys from the show. I know some of the videos I did from the car show previously, they did very well. So hopefully I'll be able to do that again. Anyhow, so we're gonna do a little bit of car chat here as well. So there's been a lot of stuff going on in the news lately. I have an upcoming video I'm doing on this, but I actually did one on Stellantis recently. Stellantis has done a lot of changes in their management there, and they have got rid of Tavares, as I mentioned in one of my previous videos. I think that's a great thing for Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram there, because that guy was destroying the company. And I really think if he had been in charge of that company much longer, he would have put the whole thing under because he just totally took that car company away from what it was known for. I mean, it was Dodge was known for powerful, fast muscle cars, and he took that all away. I mean, you wanted to change the entire lineup electric, and I mean, I have no problem with electric cars. If you want to drive them, that's fine. I mean, personally, it's not something that I have any interest in, really. I've been in them. I think when you take away the sound of the engine in there and what it just takes away the excitement. I mean, yeah, they're fast. Electric cars are fast. I won't deny that. Instant torque. You don't have to wind the engine up to like 3, 4, 5,000 RPMs at all to get the torque. But when you don't have any sound and all you have is rubber rolling on the ground, to me, that just it isn't exciting. It just doesn't do it for me. So anyhow, back to Stellantis. I mean, Tavares wanted to change the entire car company to electric. Now I realize today you have to have some electric car offerings in your lineup. There are people out there that want those, so you have to have those. However, you need to have something for the rest of us too. So now you've taken the Dodge Charger, which was a great car. You took away the Hemi, and first of all, you're going to make it all electric. Then you change your mind. No, we're going to bring gas, but we're only going to bring inline six. Now, having an inline six available is great. I mean, not everybody can afford the Hemi or whatnot. Maybe some people don't want to pay the extra fuel costs for it, but a lot of people do. So you need to offer something for everybody. You need to have a diversified lineup. It doesn't matter what the car company is, you have to have a diversified lineup. I mean, whether you're selling cars or whether you're selling cameras, you have to have something for everybody. And he really didn't want to do that. He wanted to just shove this down people's throats and say, oh, this is what you're going to buy, and you are going to like it. So, yeah, a lot of the people told him what they thought. And you know what? Nope. That's right. That's what they told him. So, Dodge Ram. We'll talk about that one a little bit. Okay. Great looking truck. Probably, I would argue, one of the toughest looking trucks on the road. Now, what you do? You made it only available in a V6. Okay. Let's look at the facts. Your number one competitors are Chevrolet, GMC, and Ford. What do they all have? They all have V8s in their vehicles. Ford came out this year with a statement that said they will produce V8 engines for their trucks and their Mustangs as long as they're legally allowed to do so. GM took that a step further. They didn't say that, but they didn't really have to because they came out and what'd they do? Oh, they brought out a brand new line of V8 engines 5.3 liter, 6.2 liter. Okay. And now you're expecting to compete with these guys just based on that. I have no words for them. I don't know what this guy was thinking. I, yeah, it made made no sense. And again, the consumers were like, nope. And the sales of the Ram this year have dropped 27%. Okay. Now add into that fact that the prices of these vehicles at Stellantis were getting outrageous. You're getting like these Dodge Rams and whatnot that were heading up sometimes north of $100,000 US. They didn't have any offerings for entry level vehicles, whether it be trucks, cars, SUVs, what have you. They had nothing. Even Jeeps were getting out of this world in pricing. So how long do they expect to really go on like this? I mean, yeah, yeah, you can't. You just can't because not in this market, not with the tough times that people are going through with money and finances and whatnot. Everything else is going up. And I realize to a degree this has to go up too, but they have gone up way above what inflation was. And now, to be fair, Chevy, GMC, Ford, kind of doing the same thing, not to the same degree, but even some of theirs have gotten kind of out of whack here too. And I will talk about GM situation specifically, actually, in an upcoming video on how they basically are pricing themselves out of the market too, because even their base model work truck is a ridiculous price. So, yeah, honestly, I think Stellantis has put the other two on notice because they just recently stated that in the US, they are dropping the Dodge Ram MSRP by up to $13,500, which on the truck that they're using as an example was roughly 25 to 27%. That's huge. That's huge. So GM, Ford, they're going to have to pay attention to this too. Might work out to my favor too, because I might be in the market for a new vehicle myself. So, you know what? Maybe they're going to help bring this price down a bit too. So, going into 2025, now we're at the end of the year almost. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for next year. I mean, they've gotten a new administration in the US, and I think that he is going to be great for the car industry. He is going to allow, and not only allow, but encourage the car companies to build vehicles that people want to buy, people are excited about. So any of the car companies that take advantage of this, it's going to be huge for them. It's going to be great. It's going to be great for the consumer too. And with Stellantis kind of changing some of their pricing structure here, I think that's going to filter down into some of the other automakers as well. And yeah, it's gonna benefit the consumer for sure. I mean, I this is a car channel, so I try not to get too political. So please forgive me lately that I've kind of gone down that road a bit. But when it involves the automotive industry, I kind of have to. It's kind of you can't talk about today's automotive industry without talking about some of these things that are going on in the political climate in the US right now, because this is going to filter not only US, but into Canada and possibly even to Western European countries as well. Because, I mean, a lot of people are going to be, I mean, Canada is a given, but even in some Western European countries there probably going to be a lot of people looking at this saying, well, okay, if Americans can have these kind of vehicles, why can't we? I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be real. It's going to be a really exciting time for them. So MacPone P, what do we got here? Personally, I love the informative videos. Your voice is perfect. I apologize for leaving a few, but I had to walk my GTO riders. I wish I knew how to share a pic. 91 Bonneville SSCI. Oh, okay. 91 Bonneville SSCI. Yeah, that was an awesome vehicle. Actually, my uncle had one of those. I think his was a 1990, if I'm not mistaken, though. He had the 1990 Pontiac Bonneville SSC, and it was all white. It was back when 90s when they kind of did color keyed everything. He looked pretty cool. Like his was you could get like a white Bonneville with the white rims, everything. Like it looked really cool, and it had the beige leather interior too, which you don't really see that often in today. I don't know why. I would do I know what color interior did this one have here that you're talking about? Be kind of interested to know because I think the beige looked really awesome with the white and with the black too. And then they had those gold cross laced kind of rims as well. They were pretty slick looking too. My dad at the time had an '87 Bonneville LE black with like a gray cloth interior, and he had like the silver cross laced rims. Oh, camel. Yes, yes, camel. Yeah, that is nice. I love the interior of the Bonnevilles. It looked like you're sitting in the cockpit of an airplane. It was really cool. He liked them so much. He actually had three of them. He had the '87, he had the '92 SSE, and then he had the '96 SSEI. The 92 he had was like a dark gray metallic with a really, really light gray leather interior. It looked really cool too. And then the '96 was like a champagne, what do they call it? Champagne metallic, I think was the name of the color. And it actually had a charcoal gray leather interior. It looked pretty nice too. It was actually a really good color because it never it never showed the dirt. So that was pretty cool about it too. So, but yeah, I love the Bonnevilles. I don't know if I mentioned the Bonneville when I was talking about the 3.8 or not earlier, but yeah, awesome engine, bulletproof engine. I mean, even if you look back at it today, like even the fuel economy numbers that they got on the Bonneville, they were pretty damn good too. I mean, they're getting 18 to 20 miles per gallon city, and they easily get 28 miles per gallon highway. Even mine today will still do that. So it was, yeah, it's really good in that respect too. So, and you put the supercharger on that, and it was sound pretty nice with that nice whine to it too. My GTO is a 1965 and a half turquoise in and out. Oh, that one, that one does look good. Um, don't know if you're on Instagram or not. If you are, follow my Instagram page right here. And actually, you could probably send me some pictures of that if you're interested. And I wouldn't even mind sharing some of those in an upcoming video as well. That would be pretty cool. You could tell me something about it too. I could talk about that a little bit too. I would even just be interested in seeing them myself. That sounds like a really nice car, and the 400 in there too. Like, yeah, those GTOs were nice looking cars. It's a shame they didn't do a better job on that when, like, the mid 2000s when they came back with that one. It was like it wasn't a bad looking car, but it just didn't quite have the same excitement that the old cars had. That's one thing I think Dodge did a better job of when they kind of took an older car and they made it new. Like they've kind of like the retro styling. Like I think Dodge is much better at the retro styling than what GM ever was. So and Ford hasn't been done a bad job. They're some of the Mustangs they've come out with are pretty nice too, but I got a new. Well, that's awesome that you've kept that car that long then too. That's really cool. So I mean, I hope to keep my Grand Prix here for many years too. So yeah, it's like I say, I have to do a video on that and show you what that one looks like as well. So there's a couple little clips of it in one of my Grand Prix videos that I did there for the 97 to 2003 ones. So but yeah, I should do something on the Bonneville too, because Bonneville is actually one of my favorite ones. Actually, it's a toss up. I mean, I really did like that '87 to '91 model years too, but out of the ones my dad had, I think the '92 was probably my favorite. I mean, I always loved how they put fog lights in the center rather than on the outside corners like they do on most cars. It kind of made car kind of looked like an angry cat from the outside, so it was kind of strange. But yeah, I would have bought a Challenger Hemi, but so Stellantis sucks. Yeah, I know. They it's a nice looking car. If I wasn't a GM guy, I mean, at one point I was actually seriously considering a Charger because I do love the Chargers, but yeah, I just couldn't bring myself to that. But um, now GM's gotten rid of the Camaro too, so hey, you know what? I'm glad that Stellantis is kind of bringing back their Challenger. I hope that they solve some of their quality issues in that as well, because have some less recalls and whatnot. Because there's a huge opportunity there for them to make some money in the muscle car segment there. Because I mean, all you've really got out there now is Mustang. Okay, GM dropped their Camaro, at least for now, anyhow. Maybe we can hope that some of the stuff that I've been reading and seeing about the possible return of Pontiac, that this actually does become something. Kind of hoping maybe we'll see the Firebird come back. Honestly, if they brought Pontiac back, I will be in line to buy one of those because I mean I've been driving trucks for quite some time now too, but bring Pontiac back honestly would be incentive enough for me to go back into driving a car. One of the reasons I got out of it was because they got rid of Pontiac, because I always was a Pontiac guy and I did drive quite a few different Pontiacs. And then they got rid of it, and I really didn't find another car in the lineup that I like. So that's when I that's when I went into trucks. Then I would join the truck club. That's another club, and I still belong to, moderator on the gm-trucks.com. Great online community there for truck owners as well. I believe they have a YouTube channel in here somewhere too. So yeah, that's I really yeah, I've been really involved in that as well. But we'll see. I don't know. Over in TK's garage, I mean, that guy, he puts out some awesome videos. I must commend TK. I really enjoy his content, and he's got some good sources. I don't know where he's met all these guys from, but he's definitely got some good sources. And apparently, in one of his videos, he was talking about how one of the executives from GM, he didn't exactly come right out and say it, but sounds pretty certain that they're going to come back with Pontiac in some form or another. I mean, they dropped their cars from all their other lineups, so I mean, I think there's a huge opportunity for them right there. I mean, I know crossovers and that are the big thing right now. Everybody seems to love these crossovers. I own one myself one time. I had a 2005 Chevy Equinox, and I did like it. I did like it. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but at this point, I think I would only ever buy a truck, like a full size pickup truck, or a car. I'm not a crossover person. And as I've said in some of my other videos too, like they all look the same. There's very few that really stand out. But getting back to the car thing, I mean, I was at a stoplight the other day looking around. It was probably about a month ago because I was still driving my car out and I've put it away for the winter now. But all the other vehicles around me at the stoplight were all cars. They're all fairly new cars, but they're all foreign cars. Why? Well, because North American maker car manufacturers aren't really producing any cars. So what are the choices people have? I mean, there was a Honda Civic, there was a Mazda 3, I think it was. And oh yeah, Toyota Corolla. That was the other one. And Actually, there's two Hondas. Now that I think about it, so it was two Hondas, the Corolla and the Mazda, and three out of the four that were sitting there were all younger people driving it. And listen, I mean, the younger segment is important. They don't have the money, I realize, on the most part, to buy your Cadillacs and your full size $100,000 pickup trucks. But statistically speaking, if you get these people in your cars early when they're younger, statistically speaking, they're more likely to buy your product again if they've had a good experience with it. So, why would you want to forget about the segment? GM never used to. I mean, I remember when I was a teenager, all my friends were driving like Cavaliers and Sunfires and whatnot. And they've forgotten about that segment. The riders are my 13-year-old terriers I found in a dumpster. Oh, my mom had a rush on Burt Reynolds, or had a crush on Burt Reynolds, so she bought a 77 Trans Am new. I have a really good collection. How can I share it? Okay. Leave me a comment there. Let me know if you have Instagram. If you have Instagram, you can easily share it through there. If not, let me know here and I will figure out something else for you so you can share that over to me. Um, Give me 1 second here. Okay, there it is. Okay. I have an email option as well if you don't have Instagram as well. Your geezer. Okay. Okay. I tell you what here. I'm going to put a comment in here. Oh, okay. Okay. There's an email option for you. It's btlproductions.yt@gmail.com. So, yeah, just send me whatever pictures you have over on those here. And will this give away my age? Take off a. Yeah. Yeah, send an email to that email address there. And yeah, if you have some time there, just give me some information on the cars as well. Let me know um stories behind them and anything maybe you'd like me to include. And yeah, I'll definitely include that in a video, and I may even post something up in the community section as well so everybody can see that as well. So that's pretty cool. Thank you for sharing that. That's very cool. So yeah, and the 77 Trans Am actually. I remember as a kid I had a little one of those little matchbox cars. It was a gold one with the black bird on the hood there, and that was like one of my favorite cars as a kid. So feeling like feel like going to Houston near NASA. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, actually. I have been to Houston. Actually, it's been quite a while, but I actually the one time I have made a trip in Texas, I did Dallas Fort Worth, and I also traveled down to Houston as well. So it's a really cool down there. I really like that, and I would really like to actually go back down to Texas at some point. Here down, I think it's Galveston area down along the Gulf of Mexico. There, apparently the beaches are really nice there too. So wouldn't mind checking that out. I didn't really know a lot about the place at all. So black on 10 gold chicken, yes, Yep, that was the one. And oh yeah, where I was going with that too is um if you go to one of my videos from this past summer from the Niagara Falls cruise nights that I attend down around this area, I actually had a car there that looked identical to that. The thing was actually for sale, and if I had a place to put it, you know what, I would have been very tempted to buy it, but unfortunately, I don't have a place to put it. I already have, you know, 2 cars, a truck, and 2 snowmobiles, and a jet ski. So, I mean, I kind of run out of space here. So, but yeah, it was very tempting. I would love to have been able to buy that car. So that was that was pretty cool. So maybe they'll bring it back. I mean, like I say, if they do, and I might be in line for one of my next vehicles there. I would love to be able to have one of those. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It'd be very interesting. So yeah, beaches are yuck. Do not go into the water in KJ Jaws. Are they really that bad there? I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of going on what some people told me. I've never seen them myself, but um, I've been in the beaches in Florida on the Gulf of Mexico, and they were pretty nice. I always liked the Gulf because it was a little bit warmer than the other side and the other ocean side there. So I used to go gone down to Clearwater Beach quite a few times in Florida. So yeah, maybe I'll stick to Florida beaches, but yeah, uh, if I do make it down there into Texas again, yeah, I'll see if you want to come in one of my videos with your car collection there. That would be really cool. So anyhow, yeah. So where was I going with that now? I lost where I was at here. Yeah. So I'm gonna look up something here. One sec. Going through some of the news here too. Mm, Hopefully, with the new leadership here at Stellantis, that some of this stuff is going to stop. But another one of their like these recalls that they've been having here, like this is an older one, but I just wanted to kind of bring it up. I mean, looking at this truck here, and it's like, how can you take this truck that looks like that? And I mean, I realize this is not the light duty one, the half ton, but anyhow, doesn't look that much different. But how do you take that and just put a straight six in that thing? It's just that boggles my mind. I don't know what these guys are thinking, but anyhow, I digress. Okay, here. Now let's look up this one here. Share screen. And where is it? Would Cadillac have been better off with a complete rebranding like Jaguar? Nope. Yeah, that's exactly my thought there. I don't know if you guys have seen the Jaguar video, their advertising campaign, but I'm sorry, but it was one of the worst advertising campaigns I have seen, possibly ever in the automotive sector. Anyhow, I don't know how Jaguar didn't learn from some of these other companies that have made this blunder where, like I say, they're appealing to the woke segment of the population here. And yeah, basically they're trying to rebrand their whole line, turn it all electric, and they came up with this clown advertising campaign. Only if they are bought by Kia. Yeah. Well, yeah. I Budweiser, go down that road. Their advertising campaign with their questionable model that they put in there. What happened to them? They lost millions upon millions and millions of dollars from that advertising campaign because they totally alienated their whole consumer base. Gillette, what they came out with? They came out with the advertising campaign where they're basically male bashing. What are their main customer is men. You basically bashed them and told them they're trash. And then Jaguar comes out with this campaign, so I don't understand what they're doing. But and even in this article here, I just saw this just before I went live, and um yeah, not a fan of this. I think personally, GM is being much smarter about how they're going about this because they're going back to what I was talking about with Stellantis and just car companies in general earlier, and how I was saying that you need to have a diversified lineup. Don't say okay. Uh, yeah, you're 100% correct. Yeah, you're 100% correct there. And actually, the head of the Budweiser advertising campaign, that's what that person was. So, and disappeared very shortly after that whole campaign bombed and crashed and burned. Shocking. Yeah, okay. So, I think GM is being much smarter about it. They got their electric vehicles. I actually would argue that the Cadillac actually has the most diversified lineup in the GM line. They don't have a pickup truck, but obviously you don't need really have a Cadillac pickup truck, although they did have that Avalanche style S Cadillac truck at one point. Lincoln had one too. But anyhow, I don't think having a pickup truck in a luxury car line really makes a lot of sense to me. Emphasis on, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. You're right. But I would say Cadillac actually has one of the most diversified lineups in GM. They've got their cars, got their SUVs, they've got their electric cars. They got everything from four cylinders to V8s and diesels and electric motors. You got something for everybody. I noticed that their electric cars are kind of sitting on the lots, and I guess nobody really wants to buy them. I don't know.
How dare you?
Oh, Greta, be quiet. Anyhow, um, yeah, it's I just think that they need to take that across their lineup. I mean, that video I did recently on the crossovers. I mean, they got some nice crossovers, and one of my regular viewers, Oles, there, Oles 98, I think it is. He did bring up a good point that I didn't think of when I was making the video, and it said that the Trailblazer or the Blazer should be made available in rear wheel drive to compete with the Explorers and the Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's a great point. Actually, I didn't think of that. I had thought of that before, but when I was making the video, I didn't really consider that one. So I think that was really great. Cadillac, Seville, Fleetwood Coupe. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea for GM to kind of bring back some of the old nameplates because retro's in right now. I mean, let's face it, it doesn't matter whether you're talking about cars, electronics, or clothes. The retro is where it's at. So, yeah, you know what? It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to do that. I mean, remember a friend of mine who's last Christmas there, his son his number one thing he wanted on his Christmas list was a record player. I mean, even in the music store locally here, like the record section, you go in there, that's where everybody is. They're all there buying the records, buying the vinyl. And oddly enough, same kid there this year, he wanted a electric typewriter too. I don't know. I guess this is kind of the cool thing with these kids, all this retro stuff. So yeah, yeah, they could bring that back. I mean, they have a full size Cadillac too, the CT6, but unfortunately, it's not available in North America anymore. So I'm not sure why. It's like why they wouldn't make something like that available here, because I mean, you've got Mercedes and BMWs and that, and they've all have a full size flagship car, and it would be a great competitor to that. So yeah, it'd not be a bad idea. But as I was going through the crossovers, like there's so many crossovers they could get rid of too, and they could really streamline their lineup and bring back a few cars into the lineup, get rid of some of the crossovers, and you're taking some of your research and development and costs and advertising costs and putting it into less vehicles. This is something General Motors could actually improve on some of their advertising. They don't do a lot of advertising. I think they could do a little bit more. Although I've seen more lately, as of late, than I used to. But yeah, they probably could do with a little bit more of that. So anyhow, yeah. So we'll go with that. But anyhow, I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to talk about there. I got a few minutes left here before I have to take off. Yeah. I mean, we can't deny here where GM is definitely, of all three of them, I think doing something right. I think they actually, although I point out some flaws and how they could improve some of the lineup. I think they in the North America, as far as their North American competitors, they're actually probably in the best shape out of all of them. Long way from 2008, 2009 for sure. But in this article here, GM stocks jumped 5% during the week of December 23rd to 27th. Like, they're obviously doing something right here. Obviously doing something right. So I'm really, really excited to actually see what they come up with, what they all come up with in the new year. 'Cause I think this, like I said, is going to be a very exciting year going forward. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with the new administration in the states too. What they do with some of these EV mandates and whatnot, and trying to force people to buy what they don't want to buy. I think a lot of that's going to go by the wayside there, and they're going to get back to you know making what people want to buy. So I think that alone very exciting. Not only exciting for the consumer, but also exciting for the employees too, because there's going to be a big push here for American jobs and whatnot too. So I hope that uh, that really does help the car manufacturers employees as well. I'm hoping it doesn't hurt the Canadian. Hope it doesn't hurt the Canadian employees too much. I don't really think it's going to. I think being the United States is one of our Canada's largest trading partner, I think you're going to see some compromises and whatnot made between the United States and Canada. I think he's going more after places like Mexico and China and whatnot, where they have the really cheap labor. So I don't know. I'm hoping I'm right with that. I don't think he's going to go press too hard on that, but yeah, we'll see what happens there. Anyhow, well, I think I covered about everything I wanted to cover here tonight. Thank everyone that's come through and stopped in and watched the live stream. And Macon P, thank you very much for your input. And thank you for joining in on the conversation here. It's always kind of nice rather than just sitting here talking to myself. So, and kind of, I look forward to seeing some of those pictures you have of some of your cars as well. They sound pretty cool. So, I will definitely do something with that in an upcoming video as well. And again, anybody else watching or watching the replay of this live stream, I thank you very much for the last year. You know what? Everything that you guys have done, it means a lot to me. I thank you for the subscriptions and the likes and the comments and the views and everything. I mean, without all of you guys, obviously I wouldn't be here. So be here doing this. So I thank you very much for that. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys in any of my upcoming videos. So, everyone, have a great day as always, and I will see you again soon.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love